Alrighty, let's go, ladies. We are now on to lesson 6, self-mastery. Yes. So, to reach self-mastery, we must understand the ego. The ego is defined as the false sense of self that we have created based on our identification with the body, thoughts, and beliefs. As it relates to the metaphysical, the ego is a product of the separation from our true nature, which is infinite and eternal. The goal, the ego is characterized by fear, guilt, judgment, and attachment to external things such as possessions, status, and relationships. The ego is the root of all suffering and is responsible for the conflicts and problems we experience in our lives. The ego is a construct of the mind that is based on our identification with the body and the belief in separation from others and from our true nature. It is a false sense of self that we have created and identified with, but that is not who we truly are. This is a path to undoing the ego by shifting our perception from the ego's limited perspective to a more expansive awareness of our true nature. This involves practicing forgiveness, letting go of judgments and grievances, and cultivating a sense of inner peace and unity. True healing and transformation come from aligning our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors with the principles of love, forgiveness, and unity. Through a consistent spiritual practice and self mastery, we can let go of the ego and connect with our true nature. We can experience a deeper sense of joy, fulfillment, and purpose in our lives. Now, the learning goal is that the ultimate goal of spiritual practice is to attain mastery over our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. It is essential for experiencing inner peace and happiness and for awakening to our true nature as beings of love. A spiritual practice can contribute significantly to self mastery in several ways. One, it will cultivate self awareness, which is a spiritual practice that often involves introspection, reflection, and mindfulness, which can help you develop a deeper understanding of yourself. And by understanding your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, you can gain greater control over them and become more aware of how they influence your life. Developing emotional intelligence. Oh my gosh, I am been talking a long time. A spiritual practice can help you develop emotional intelligence by teaching you how to manage your emotions, understand the emotions of others, and communicate effectively. Now, this can help you build better relationships, make better decisions, and navigate challenging situations with more ease. Also, enhancing resilience. Enhancing resilience will A spiritual practice can help you develop resilience by giving you a sense of purpose and meaning. It can help you connect with something greater than yourself and provide you with the strength and motivation to overcome obstacles and challenges. Also, a spiritual practice can help you foster compassion and empathy. A spiritual practice can help you develop compassion and empathy for others, which can help you become a more effective leader and collaborator. By understanding the perspectives of others, you can build stronger relationships, communicate more effectively, and create more positive outcomes. A spiritual practice often involves regular practice and discipline, which can help you develop the self discipline necessary for self mastery. By committing to a daily practice, you can build the habits and routines that support your personal growth and development. All right, here we go. So, self development to mastery, right? We're talking about the undoing of the ego, awareness of our thoughts, choosing to be aligned with love rather than fear, and a willingness to take responsibility for our thoughts and actions. This is development versus mastery, which is actualization. So, self mastery through spiritual practice involves developing the ability to transcend the limitations of the ego and connect with a deeper sense of self. This process involves undoing the egoic patterns and beliefs that keep us stuck in old patterns and prevent us from reaching our full potential. The ego is a construct of the mind that is based on our sense of self identity. It is the part of us that defines us by our roles, achievements, possessions, and relationships. Now, the ego can be helpful in some ways, but it can also limit us and create suffering by causing us to identify too strongly with our self image. To obtain self mastery through spiritual practice, we must learn to detach from our egoic identity and connect with our true self, which is often referred to as our higher self or our soul. Now, this involves developing awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors and learning to observe them without judgment. Through regular spiritual practice, such as meditation, yoga, prayer, we can begin to quiet the mind and connect with a deeper sense of self and really tap into our divine feminine. This can help us access the wisdom, intuition, and creativity that lies within us to begin to align our lives with our true purpose. As we begin to undo the ego and lean into our self actualization, we may experience a range of challenges and opportunities for growth. We may need to confront our fears, our limiting beliefs, and old patterns, and develop new skills and habits that support our personal growth and development. Self mastery through spiritual practice and tapping into our divine feminine is a lifelong journey that requires patience, commitment, and self compassion. By cultivating a regular spiritual practice and staying open to the lessons and opportunities that arise, we can develop the awareness, wisdom, and resilience necessary to overcome obstacles and live a fulfilling life. So, how do we actually obtain self mastery, right? Because I gave you a lot of theory and a lot of why and a lot of why we shouldn't versus should and what it leads. But how do we actually do it? Well, ultimately, self mastery is seen as a process of awakening to our true nature as beings of love. Through the practice of forgiveness and undoing the ego, we can experience a sense of inner peace and freedom that allows us to live a more fulfilling and joyful life. And this can be done through a consistent spiritual practice, having daily non negotiables that we do every day in order to stay aligned with our ultimate purpose, lean into our divine femininity, as well as have a stable mindset. Also, remembering that we have said we have a willingness to surrender and that we want the guidance from the universe. And starting with our most pressing issue is the fastest way to learn how to apply these methods. In this lesson, the activities associated will teach you to identify your most pressing issue, how to identify what your daily non-negotiables should be, and then how to create a schedule or a plan that fits around the life you currently have so that you can slowly build upon your daily activities until it increases into a full-blown spiritual practice. Let's go ahead and wrap up lesson 6. When striving for self mastery, it's important to remember that this is a process that takes time and dedication. Don't be too quick to get frustrated with yourself. It involves a willingness to look inward and confront your own fears and limiting beliefs. Through the practice of forgiveness, mindfulness, and self awareness, you can gradually undo the influence of the ego and experience a greater sense of inner peace and freedom. Remember that the undoing of the influence of the ego is a lifelong process. So you'll need to practice this regularly in order to gradually loosen the grip of the ego and experience a greater sense of inner peace. Be patient with yourself, okay? As you go through this and you need help or you have questions, you want to share experiences, hashtag undoing ego. And I will be happy to give you feedback, celebrate with you, and answer any questions that you may have. I will see you in the final phase, which is harmonious healing, in the next lesson. And we'll start with lesson 7, the ultimate freedom. Until then, I wish you all the love and light.